everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. Today in this respective Python project, we'll be making up a gun detection Python project. So what will be that about? Let me give you a very quick idea into that particular case. So this gun detection project, actually in this, what's gonna happen? That we'll be giving the access to our camera. Okay, after giving out the access to our camera, we will actually show up the image of a gun onto the camera. Okay, and after that, if into that respective image a gun is present, so in that particular case it's gonna show up a frame onto the all the four sides of that gun. It's gonna cover up that gun from the rectangular frame, and it's gonna detect that yes, this is the gun. So if it is gonna be one or if it is gonna be some n number of guns, it doesn't matters. It's gonna show that out on all of the respective guns which are actually present up into that particular video or image, whatever you select. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear with this idea to you regarding this project. So the very first step will be here that we'll be giving up the access to the camera. Further, we'll be having up a cascade file. That cascade file you need to download out. I will let you know that what will be that. And then you will be making up the frame, giving the color for detection, and rest everything will be done out. So this is how we'll be proceeding it up here. Okay, hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing to you. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to first of all import out my respective libraries for the project. So I'll be starting off with my NumPy. So I will write here import NumPy as np. So what's that NumPy? That NumPy is my numerical Python library which we have up into the Python programming language. What's that used for? That's used for working out with the mathematical calculations, some numerical calculations. So in that respective case, you use your NumPy library. Now, what's the need of that into my project? So into this gun detection project, you will be needing this out because you have to mention up the respective scale values in the format of the x, y, the width, the height, rest everything like that. You have to mention it out. So into that particular case, yes, you will be needing up the NumPy library. Okay, hope I'm pretty much clear with that. Now, when I wrote up import NumPy, what does this mean? It means that the NumPy library which I'm going to use into my project, I am importing out that particular library. Okay, I'm importing out that particular library here. Further, I had written as np. What's that as np? So this as np is basically giving a short form to your NumPy library. Okay, it's giving up a short name, it's giving a short form name to your NumPy library. So when I wrote import NumPy as np, so NumPy is my library and np is the short form which you're having it up here. Further, I'm going to write up my cv2. So import cv2. cv2 is the library that's actually working onto my OpenCV projects. Computer vision. CV stands for computer vision. Okay. Previously, you directly used to import up the OpenCV library only, but further, now when you're having some newer versions of the Python, into that you do not import the OpenCV library, you import up the cv2. Okay, and this will actually help us to detect the gun into the respective image or respective, we'll be working out with the image only. Okay, next I'm going to import up the imutils, and further my last library which needs to be imported, that's the date time. So this is the date time library which you're having it out here. So we have imported it out at this particular place. Let's see at what particular place we'll be using the date time. But what is it used for? So this date time is used for giving you the current date, giving you the current time, and all those respective cases. This date time library is completely used out. Okay. So Hope I am pretty much clear with all of these four libraries, that what are the use of them and why have I imported up these libraries for this gun detection project. So the first one was NumPy, then goes with the CV2. Further you have imutils, and further you are having the date time. Let's get down here. Now I'm gonna give up some variables name. Let's say that's gun cascade like that, okay? My variable name. And what I'm gonna do into this particular variable, I am simply gonna capture, no, I'm not gonna capture. I'm first of all gonna give up a cascade.xml file. So now I'm gonna write up here cv2 dot cascade, my function, and here goes classifier. So yeah, cascade classifier, that's one of my functions which I'm having it up here for classifying my cascade file. So my cascade, what's the name for that? It's cascade.xml. That's my file name which I'm having out. Okay. So for the classification, for the classifying of my cascade file, here we are having cascade.xml file, which I did already have it out. Let me show you where I'm having that. So one second. Where's that folder? Yeah, GFG folder, and yes, there's a cascade.xml file. Okay, this one. If I am gonna view that out, it's not gonna be actually like, this is what this XML file looks like. I know it's not at all understandable, but yeah, this is how this particular file is gonna look out for you. Okay, so I'm gonna close this out from here. Great. So this is my cascade file which I have actually used here, cascade classifier with the function. Moving next, I'm gonna give up the access to my camera. So camera is equal to cv2 dot, here goes my function, that's video capture. So video capture, and into the bracket I'm going to write up 0. So here what are we getting? We are giving the access to our camera. Here this video capture function, it means that we will be capturing if the video means your camera will be turned on. And after your camera is turned on, you can show up in respective video to that camera. So after your camera is open, so you can simply show up any respective video to your camera, or you can show up any respective image to your camera, any respective thing like that. Okay, so this respective line allows you to give the access to your camera. Further, I'm going to declare two variables. First one is the first frame, and that's equal to, I'm going to write up here for now none, and gun underscore exist, and for that as well I'm going to write up none. So these are my two variables, first frame variable and the gun exist variable. Both of them I have set up none, because as soon as any frame will be captured, or as soon as any gun will be detected onto my image, this none will be changed to some value. Okay, and that's the reason right away we have kept out both of these respective variables in the format, that's the none format. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give up a while true condition. So while true. Now while true, it's gonna give me out an infinite loop. It's gonna give me out an infinite loop. So the particular infinite loop, what's that about actually? Okay, let's say I will be showing a multiple images. So what I want is that till the time I am showing the images, it should run and run and run for all of the images which I am gonna show. That's the reason here I did have put up my infinite loop. Okay, I haven't put out a respective number that after the 4 guns are detected or after 10 guns are detected, exit my program. No, I haven't done it. So I want this to run up an infinite loop up till the time the guns are being showed, detect out those guns, and simply when I'm going to stop out the program at that particular time only, stop my program. Not before that. I do not have any condition for this much guns or for that much guns. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing as well. regarding this while true. Further, now let's start and make up the frame. So ret comma frame is equal to, and that's gonna camera dot read. Okay, so frame, we know that the camera which we are having, you have to read out the image or image which is showed onto the camera. That's the reason here goes your function camera dot read. So whatever the image is being showed to you over the camera, you have to read out that image. Further, into that image only, you have to detect out your guns. This is how it's gonna be. Okay. Next, I'm gonna write up here frame is equal to, I'm gonna use up imutils dot resize. Resize is my function that I am having up here into this imutils. Imutils dot resize. And what to resize? I want to resize out my frame. And what will the width for that? Width will be 500. So it means that I want to resize out my frame to the width, that's 500. Okay, so whatever is the width, accordingly, we are resizing out the frame. And what do we have up here in the frame? Frame is having my camera dot read. It means whatever is shown onto the camera, it will be reading out that particular image. Okay, let's get down. And now what are we going to do is next we will be converting our RGB, or you could say that BGR image into the grayscale image, because whenever you are detecting up anything onto the image, the very first and foremost thing is that you have to convert your RGB or BGR image to the grayscale. Till the time you're not going to do this out, it won't detect out the things for the proper manner to you. So make sure that whenever you are detecting up any object on any image in the OpenCV, so make sure that you're converting up that image to the grayscale, and then further you are defining up the frame height and the frame width and everything. Okay, let's do that out. So gray is equal to CV2 dot, it will be CVT color function, CVT color. So CVT color means CVT is for convert and color, yeah, you are aware, so it's convert color function. Okay, so yes, it's the convert color. And here at what I'm having frame. Okay, frame is respectively the variable which is having the resize of my frame. Okay, so frame comma, and here I'm going to write CV2 dot, it's color, what's my color? R will be capital. So what's my color? It will be BGR 2, it's gonna be gray, GRAY. So this BGR is my blue, green and red pixels, and I'm completely covering and converting that onto the gray pixel one. Okay, so my color is being converted from blue, green, red to the grayscale image, and whenever you are having up anything onto the grayscale image, it becomes very much easier for you to detect that out. So that's the same thing. Yes, so BGR to gray, that's pretty much done. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give up the values for my gun for be detecting out. Okay, so gun is equal to, and I'm going to put up here gun underscore cascade dot, and here we are having detect the multi-scale. What I'm going to do is that I am detecting up the multi-scale. Whatever the values you are having, you have to write that out. Let me show you. I'll be writing up my grayscale here. After that, I'll be writing up some values somewhat around some 1.3, some 1.5. So I'll be writing up the values into that particular format. Okay, so it's 1.3 comma, it's gonna be 5 comma, I am even having up a minimum size to be defined, so it's min size, and that's equal to 100 comma 100. Okay, what's that completely about? Let me tell you. Okay, S will be capital for the size right away. So here I'm doing is that I am defining up a variable that's gun. Okay, now that respective variable of mine, first of all, it's reading up that gun underscore cascade. So let me check away. Yes, this gun underscore cascade variable. So into this, what we did do, we simply have classified our cascade file. Right, so for the same, it's doing that out. My cascade file is present up here. Now into that cascade file, I'm detecting up the multi-scale. Okay, getting down here, now I'm going to put up some several conditions. Okay, that if the length of the gun is greater than 0, if the length of the gun is greater than 0, in that case you have to write that gun underscore exist is equal to true. Now it means that here if the length for the gun is this respective variable, okay, if the length for this respective thing, whatever is done up here, the length for that is greater than 0, so into that case this gun and exist is a function which we had made up right here, variable, right? So you have to, instead of none, you have to set up this gun underscore exist to the true value. Okay, so instead of that you are setting that as true. So it means that if the gun underscore exists variable, like the length of the gun is greater than 0, then you have to shift up this variable to the true. Okay. And now here I'll be putting up a for loop. So for, I'm going to define up the x, y, w and h. X is my x-axis, y is my y-axis, w belongs to my width, and h belongs to my height. So x comma y comma w comma h. Okay, x, y, w, h in the gun. Okay, so it means that for x, y, w, h, for my value for x, for the value for y, for the value for the width, and for the value for the height, all these values into this gun variable, what we are gonna do, we'll be using up this frame variable. So frame is equal to cv2 dot, and here I'm gonna make up a rectangular frame. So in that case I'm using up this rectangle variable. Okay, and I'll be setting up the dimensions. Here goes my frame. Further downside it's x comma y. Okay, then further I'm having, what I would do is that now I would add that x with the width and y with the height. Reason, x and w both are into the horizontal manner, right? So x and y, the x-axis which you are having, and the width for a rectangle which you are having, both are in the same measure, both are into the same dimension, right? Both are into the same manner, like straight, just straight, right? So into that case, I'll be adding the x and the width, and the y and the h, that's my y-axis and my height. Those both are onto the same manner. Those both are the standing lines. X and W are the slanting lines. Y and the H are my standing lines. So I'll be adding up the similar content with each other. So that's the reason I'll be adding X plus W, comma Y plus H. Let's do that out. So X plus, let me get out some space here, X plus W, comma Y plus H. This is what is done. Putting up a comma, I am going to define out the color for my respective that particular box which is gonna appear. So it's 255, comma 0, comma 0. Okay. Putting up a comma, here I'm going to define up that 2. That will be the width of my frame which is gonna appear out. The width of my frame. Okay. So yes, that's completely done. 255, comma 0, comma 0. And 2 is the width of that particular frame that is gonna come up onto the particular one. Then further I'm gonna define up some more variables. ROI, let's say that's underscore gray. Okay. So now that is equal to here the the gray scale image which you are having. Sorry, the gray variable which we had made, and into that we had converted the BGR to the gray scale only, right? So that's done. Y colon, I'm going to add up y plus h. That's the same thing which we are doing above as well, right? Comma, and for the x, it's belonging to the x plus w. Okay. Here as well I would give up some space. 1 second. Right away. So for the y, it's adding of y plus the height, and for the x, it's adding of the x and the width. Getting down, it's the time for one more variable ry underscore color. Now what's that equal to? I'm going to set up the frame here, frame, and now I'll be defining the values for the frame as well, and those are as well going to be the same, like y, okay, 1 second, y colon y plus h, okay, where's that plus h, comma, x is gonna belong to my x plus w, okay, same manner. So ry underscore gray is equal to gray, y plus y colon y plus h, and x colon x plus w. And for the color as well, you're having of the frame and the same things, right? So this is what you actually have defined up here with a different values. Right, now I will be coming out of my for loop and defining up the conditions that if the first frame, it's a variable which we did had made up of. Let me show you where. So where is it? 1 second, let me get above. So if first frame, yes, this one, we did set out that none for some time, right? So yes. Okay, so if the first frame is none, okay, if the first frame is none, if this is the condition which we are applying out here, so into that case you have to write first, and it's gonna be the frame is equal to, and you're just gonna set up this for the gray variable. So first frame is equal to gray, and here I'm gonna put up the continue function, continue, okay, keyboard. So if the value which you're having up in the first frame, that's none, so into that case you will be setting that equal to gray, and you will be continuing that out, okay. Further, I'll be coming again out of this if condition and setting up some more things, that cv2 dot I am sure. What do you have to write into that? I could write up somewhat like security feet, okay, comma, and I have to write that over my frame. So that's completely done. And now I'm going to set up a new variable, that's my key. So that's equal to cv2 dot, it's going to be the wait key function, and I'm going to set that as 1, okay. And even I'm going to put up some more things here, like I'm going to put up 0, it is a small x, okay, and capital F. Fine, key is pretty much done. New condition goes at if my key is equal to my order of q. Okay, where there are different orders, in that order q is as well one of the orders. So if the key is equal to the order of q, you have to break up the statement from there itself. So yeah, it's completely break, right? And further you are having the conditions to be put it upon, and those conditions goes up in a format like that. If gun underscore exist, so into that case you have to print up that the guns detected, DETEC, guns detected, okay. Otherwise it gives my else condition, else you have to print that the guns didn't detected, okay. That's the thing which is gonna come up here. And here what I'm going to do last is that I'm going to write out camera dot release, okay, camera dot release, and I'm going to put up the bracket, means that at this particular place my camera will be released. It means that at this particular place my camera will stop working. And cv2 dot destroy TROY, destroy all windows. So cv2 dot destroy all windows. So the cv2 is the same, that's my library, and destroy all windows. What it does, whatever the windows have been opened out for you, whatever the access to your camera has been given out, everything it will destroy, means everything it will be removing at one sort of time completely, okay. So this is what my program actually looks like. We simply imported out our relevant libraries, the NumPy, cv2, imutils, and datetime. Further, I used up my cascade classifier for the cascade file. Then I did have done up the video capture function for capturing up my video. Then I did define two variables, first frame and the gun exist. and I did set them as none. Further, we did put up the while condition so as to run up an infinite loop. I am simply reading up my camera, like whatever the image or the things have been given into my camera, I am reading that out. Further, I'm resizing up the frame. Then I'm converting my BGR color to the gray color. Further, with the help of detect multi-scale, I am detecting up the multi-scale of my image that we are having. Then we are checking that if the length for the gun is greater than 0. So in that you can say that the gun exists and you can set that as true. And for the X, Y, W and H, that's my X, Y, width and the height in the gun. You have to set up the rectangular frame. So for that I did give up the values, all of the values, respective ones which are here. And for the first frame, if you're having, if that is none, so in that case first frame you could set it out for gray and you can continue from this particular place. These are the things which are to be shown up over my respective screen for that particular video that's gonna appear out. So its security feed is coming there. Key is equal to cv2 dot wait key. Here you are having that wait key as 1 and that's pretty much done. Further, you are having that if my key is equal to the order of q. So into that case, you are simply using this particular thing and you're breaking that out from there. And further, it comes that if the gun exists, then you can print up guns detected. Otherwise, you can print guns didn't detect it. And at last, you can do camera dot release. That will release up your camera, switch off your camera and destroy all the windows. It means whatever the windows have been occurred or whatever the windows have been made, you have to destroy all of those respective windows. Okay. So hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing to you regarding this particular function, this regarding this particular program, that how you could define a program. Now it's the time for running out a program and checking the final output for this program, that how does this actually looks like. So now let's run out the project and let's check out that are we successfully able to detect out the gun through the camera or not. Let's do that out. Now what I'm going to do is that I have to switch off this particular camera because I have to open up the give the access from this project. Okay, so I'm going to close out this one from here. Now I'm going to run out this particular project of mine. Okay, so yeah, in a short while it is going to give up the access to my cameras. Right here it is. And now what if I show up the image for the gun? Okay, just 1 second. Right, it's here. So see what it is doing, it is detecting up the gun, right? It is actually able to detect the gun at a very proper place, right? I hope you are able to see that out. So it's showing up that blue box just around that gun which is we are having up. Now onto the downside as well, it is actually able to see up 2 guns. So for those as well, it's clearly showing the rectangular box just around that, right? So okay, let me stop it out from here. Let me stop the project running out from this particular place. Yeah, so I hope that you are pretty much clear with now that how you could make up a gun detection project with the help of the OpenCV library, how you could just do out that respective thing, right? Hope I'm pretty much clear. So simply we did use of this cascade.xml, this particular file at this particular place. Further goes your video capture function. And simply we just gave up some values, some width and some height values for the gun detection, right? Great. So hope I'm pretty much clear with all of these particular things to you regarding that how you can make up a gun detection project onto your own, right? So hope I'm clear. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.